Tonight, the Cal Alumni Association is proud to recognize Dr. Stephen Chu as the 2011 Alumnus of the Year.
Our energy demands have grown so rapidly that they now outstrip our energy supplies.
With a comprehensive plan to make our country independent of foreign sources of energy.
Every new addition to our demand for energy will be met from our own production and our own conservation.
America must get to work producing more energy.
There is no security for the United States in further dependence on foreign oil.
To maximize conservation and maximize the development of alternative sources of energy.
Our security, our prosperity, and our environment all require reducing our dependence on oil.
We've heard president after president promise to chart a new course, yet our dependence on foreign oil has only grown.
What's different than where we were 10 and 20 and 30 years ago is that science has made tremendous progress in these areas.
This time we cannot fail.
Now we see it. It's within reach.
This time has to be different.
Steve Chu credits his education as an underpinning for his prolific and varied career, which has spanned atomic physics, biophysics, and the development of alternative energies.
I think in my physics training that I received both at Rochester and at Berkeley, the idea was given to me that you can teach yourself anything you really want to learn. That was truly a liberal arts education.
Chu earned his PhD in physics from Cal in 1976 and spent 2 years on the Berkeley faculty before joining the renowned Bell Laboratories.
He did all different kinds of experiments related to lasers and photonics, but while he was there, he became involved in these ideas of laser trapping and laser cooling.
While on the faculty at Stanford University, Chu was awarded a share of the 1997 Nobel Prize in Physics for this groundbreaking research.
Now, how did I get interested in energy? Well, as an interested citizen, I was getting increasingly concerned about the climate change situation and the risks.
In 2004, Dr. Charles Schenck, then director of Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, resigned his post following a successful tenure. The search began for a new chief who could lead and further LBNL's mission.
It was clear that the laboratory needed a director who was going to be passionate about energy research. And Steve's coming gave a new definition to the word passion.
Director Schenck thought so too, and placed a call to an old colleague in Palo Alto.
And he said, well, look, if there's no chance that you would ever consider coming here, we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. If there's a 5% chance, why don't you come and I'll drive you around and tell you what you're doing and maybe consider it. And so that was, evil of him to do that. But, but I said, 5% chance? Okay. Maybe it's time to put my money where my mouth was, to vote with my feet and say, if you're really concerned about climate change and the energy problem, then if you go and become a director of this national laboratory, you would be in a position to do something about it. It was pristine. Let me say that all the students got together and they just did a top-down, thorough clean. It's in immaculate condition.
I think the lab community was really ready for that call. They were eager for it. There was almost an ignition of effort to respond and to mobilize the lab to do more for the nation and for the world in that topic of energy and environment.
Today, Chu's efforts are seen in a number of important initiatives, including the Energy Bioscience Institute, the Joint Bioenergy Institute, and the Helios Project.
The university has gone from being, one of many centers contributing to alternative energy research to, between the university and the laboratory, playing a national and international leadership role in these very important fields.
The Berkeley environment became perhaps the foremost place in the world for biofuels research in the course of just a couple of years.
In 2008, with much of this work in motion, Chu received yet another call to serve.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Stephen Chu is a Nobel Prize-winning physicist who has blazed new trails as a scientist, teacher, and administrator, and has recently led the Berkeley National Laboratory in pursuing new alternative and renewable energies. Stephen is uniquely suited to be our next Secretary of Energy as we make this pursuit a guiding purpose of the Department of Energy as well as a national mission.
I must say that my general impression of Steve's influence at the Department of Energy is that he's just by all means the most qualified Secretary of Energy we've all had. So the Department of Energy is just the most remarkable place right now.
The path toward energy independence remains a great challenge, but innovative efforts underway are producing tangible results.
We in Michigan, as a result of what the Department of Energy did, now have 17 companies inside of our little state alone that are producing 89,000 jobs, all related to the lithium-ion battery. Before Stephen Chu's presence, America only had 2%, was building 2% of the cells in the lithium-ion batteries. Now, as a result of that intervention in our economy, we are going to be in America producing 40% of the batteries for the electric vehicle. And it would not happen but for Stephen Chu's persistence in making sure that our nation becomes energy independent.
I have this Cal jacket and they look and say, "Oh, you're a Cal, that's great." There's a camaraderie. If I look back on the things that really shaped my life, of course, fundamentally my parents and growing up, but then after that, it was my undergraduate and graduate experiences. 8 years, extremely formative moment in one's life. It's a big deal. Glad to be an alumnus and deeply honored to be an alumnus.